Test. Hi guys, how are you? I wasn't gonna make a YouTube vlog this week, but I thought, we're showing up consistently twice a week on YouTube with my old vlogs in London and a new fresh vlog. I got my eyebrows microbladed so they look a bit crazy, and I was like, I don't want to vlog when I look like this. But we're showing up. So today's vlog is actually, I'm gonna talk about how I got my Instagram account back after it got wrongly suspended and taken away for 22 days. I thought, I've got so many messages on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, people asking me, how did I get it back? So I thought I'd formulate a video so hopefully calm people's nerves or help someone. It was such a stressful time for me. It was my sole income. And I guess I learned a lot from it. There's been a lot of shark attacks and shark alarms lately, so I'm just hearing that. Thought I'd give you guys a little update on life in Lynn's blog. I've got a decaf coffee here. It's a little chilly today. Been having more cheating rumors going around now for me. Someone messaged my Brazilian boyfriend and said they saw me with another man, and I'm like, oh, that's not right, because I literally edit for 20 hours in my apartment. I work at a cafe and I go to the gym. Honestly, I'm like a hermit. I've barely left Maroubra area. So I was just like, oh, now they're coming for me. And then he's like, oh, is this true? Is this not? And I'm like, honestly, I'm famous now. So people are going to try bring me down, and they can't take my Instagram account. So now they're coming for my relationship. So you know what? I think through this, we're actually seeing how much we like each other and how much we're, having to trust each other and believe each other, and I believe him and he believes me. So we're moving forward with that, but it's like they are not stopping. And I've been really finding it hard settling back into Australia. I know I've only been back a month. I left London so abruptly. And I think the hardest part is I'm grieving a life that I'm never gonna live again. I was living in London in my 20s, traveling Europe, having the best time ever, and I'm never gonna live that again. And it's kind of sad, But I have to keep remembering my why and why I moved back, to be closer to family and have a more chilled nervous system, be healthier, have better mental health. And my flatmate left abruptly today with 2 days notice. So I'm looking frantically for a flatmate, and his dad had a heart attack in New Zealand. And when he said that, my heart dropped. I saw the text at the cafe, and it really, inflicted a lot of emotions I felt in London when I got a call and my dad had a heart attack, and also my dad was going for heart surgery when I was so far away. It did kind of ground me and make me realize, I am here if something happens. I am closer to him. So yeah, that's the update on Lynn's Blog's life. I'm working hard on my social media coaching. Guys, we're at 116 blog baddies in my group. I also have 40 blog baddies in the men's and girls group, so almost 200 people. That's amazing. I've really pulled back on posting on Instagram because I'm really focusing on YouTube and my coaching, because it's very what do you call it? It's not guarantee Instagram. So cheers, let's get into it. So my Instagram account got wrongly suspended. I woke up Tuesday the 5th of May. I just posted a video, me talking about how it feels good to be back in Australia, because I was having post-holiday blues about missing Brazil and South America. I posted a video saying, it's great to be back in Australia because I don't have to worry about my phones. I can just pull them out when I come out of the gym and look at my messages, and I don't have to look at my peripheral vision. And that sparked a lot of controversial topic, and people saying, oh, never come back to Brazil, or blah, 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 or you're so unappreciative, or we don't care what you think. It just sparked a lot of hate, and it wasn't to do that. It was literally just my thought process. It is one good thing about being back in Australia is my safety. And so from that video, or it's hard to know because I found a Reddit thread as well of people mass reporting me. So I don't know where it came from, but pretty much what happened is my account got mass reported, which flagged something in Meta. It saw a really high spike of engagement. It saw that my account had been mass reported, so they shut down my account, suspended it, and they're like, okay, we're gonna I appealed it, but because I don't know why it wasn't, because Meta has fired a lot of their human employees, it went through an AI system, and AI couldn't really determine if this was, breaking community guidelines or this was a mass targeted reported account. So it was in suspension for 10 days. That was probably the worst 10 days ever. I had no clarity, no answers, nothing. Every day I was on to Meta support asking them for updates, and all they could say is your case is open and it's been waited to look at by a human. And every night I remember I was like on the phone, you know, like asking for updates. After the 10 days, it got looked at and my account just like came back. It was like a light switch, and all my friends were messaging me like, oh my God, your account's back. Which is crazy because no one gets notified your account comes back. It was actually people searching for me. So that was like the biggest, greatest feeling in the world, that people were like missing my content and looking for me. From this whole experience, I learned that what I've built over 3 years hustling did not disappear overnight just because I lost my Instagram, and that was the greatest feeling. I was getting recognized in the cafe, recognized in the gym, you know, so it was, don't think if your Instagram account is gone. If you have built a personal brand and built something, people are going to remember you and people are going to miss you. So I actually made a case study. This took me like 4 hours, and I listed out everything I did. This is the Lynn's Blog Meta case study. Look at all, wait. So I reached out to a journalist. I actually went to Fashion Week and I was talking to all these ladies saying I'm an influencer, my Instagram account's been taken. They're like, oh my gosh, this would be a great story for the news. I said yes. So I got a few contacts there, messaged 3 of them, only 1 got back to me and she said, I know a journalist. She took on my case. She actually got in contact with Meta, but Meta was just like, oh, kind of like no comment, and I still have no comment. By the way, I have 3 Instagram accounts. I had Lynn's Blog Fitness, Lynn's Blog Media, and a Lynn's Blog. The Lynn's Blog Media still hasn't come back, and I still need to, you know, hassle Meta to give that back. But because they were linked together, Lynn's Blog and Lynn's Blog Media, because Lynn's Blog got suspended, it took down that one as well because they were linked together. Lynn's Blog has come back, but because Lynn's Blog Media isn't got that many followers or something, it's not come back. So I need to like engage with Meta and be like, bring it back. So anyway, I'm also going to go onto LinkedIn because I actually made a post on LinkedIn talking about everything I did to get my account back. So pretty much I wrote how I had been targeted online. I put all like the troll comments that were coming to my second account and third account saying, yeah, your account got taken down, we're so happy, like screw you, like never come back to Brazil, or you're ugly. And so I was screenshotting all those. And then I also screenshotted like my skin was breaking out so bad. And then I also listed all the financial losses I took. And then she asked me a whole lot of questions like, did you receive notifications from Meta regarding the suspension, blah, 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 blah. Were you ever informed of any community guidelines you broke? No, I wasn't. And I think that's where I was sort of holding on to hope that I was going to get my account back, because I never got an email or anything to say you've done nudity or you've talked about other things. Like there was nothing gone bad. What type of content does your account usually focus on? Did it feel suspicious or was there any signs? So I was answering all these questions for the journalist. You mentioned the account was reinstated and taken down an hour later. Have you received a direct feedback explanation? So these are all the questions the journalist asked me and I answered. I then went and made a detailed everyday, sort of in the tables here, every day what happened. So I was like, today it got suspended and then this is what happened. I engaged with Meta and this is my case number. Then the next day, this is how my account looked. And like I had screenshots and this is what Meta said to me. Like I was so detailed. This took like 4 hours to do. And it was like all the case IDs in here. It was talking about my first account, my second account. And like when I tell you 22 days, this is like all the talking with Meta. This is like my account came back and then it went. So I made this case study, sent it off to the journalist. She engaged with Meta. I also emailed the mayor of where I live in Maroubra. I called them. They said, no, we don't deal with that. And I was like, I am not going down without a fight. So then I was like, can I have the federal MP's number? So they gave it to me. I called and they said, yes, no problem. Like, could you email your case to like this email? I emailed. They said they were going to engage with their government officials that have contacts in Meta. They definitely looked at my case. I don't think they really got it back, but it was so nice to know that like they had my back. They were like, we're sorry you're going through this. You know, I said I'm suffering financially, mental health, physical health. I also had friends reach out to me saying, we know people in Meta. So they reached out to their friends, but because Meta has they've replaced a lot of their human employees with AI, there's a lot of people who were like, oh, I used to work at Meta, and you're like, ah. The other thing that was super scary was I was having so many people saying, I can get your account back, I can get your account back. I was getting death threats. I was getting threats, if you don't date me or follow me back on Instagram, I'm gonna wipe your account forever. And you know, I really didn't know how this whole thing worked. You know, there are people in the like dark web that, I don't know, have control of people's accounts. And so I was just like in such a bad headspace. I was having to like be offline because I would be getting all these threats saying, if you don't do this, then we're gonna cancel your account. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do. Like I'm not gonna pay you back for my account back. Why? I'm a big believer, you pay for your account back. They've got the special button to just take it again. They're just gonna hold you ransom and take the money. I'm like, if it's gonna be that, you have Lynn's blog, you know, like I'll start again. I'm Lynn's blog. You can have the account, I'm Lynn's blog. So that was really, really hard. And all I can say is if people are saying like, I can get your account back, blah, 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 pay some money, don't do it. Especially if you have not broken any rules, don't do it. Because also I've been told that if Meta sees that you've done that, they don't like that and it sort of puts a strike against your account. I'm just gonna find this LinkedIn post because I wrote out, it was like 15 bullet points. It was so good. I also engaged on LinkedIn. I started posting on LinkedIn every day like it was my Instagram, and I was screaming from like my lungs being like, how can my income disappear overnight? And then like the next day I'd be like, this is the future with AI. Like I have a lot of contacts on LinkedIn from living in London and financial services. So I knew I had a lot of high net worth like people who've seen my LinkedIn. And I was like, I am just going ham. I was like, I want my Instagrammer back. And I actually had a few people respond to me, but a lot of them couldn't help because it was more for in the UK. LinkedIn, sign in. 1 second, I'm just gonna sign into my LinkedIn. I've like deleted all my apps because this iCloud storage is full. Okay, that just took me a million years to find, but this is the the LinkedIn post. So it was me sitting on the rocks here, and it was, my Instagram account came back on Thursday and it's still here. So these are all the things I did. Emailing Meta email addresses I found online. I don't think this worked, but I still did it about 2 or 3 times. Reaching out to friends working in marketing and communications who had contacts at Meta and asking if they could help get my case in front of a real person. Contacting my local federal MP who reached out to his contacts within the government to see if there was any way to escalate my issue. Creating a 15-page case study documenting every interaction and failed attempt to get my account back, including a detailed timeline of events. Submitting my case study to a journalist I had connected with through Fashion Week. Messaging Meta verified support every single day for updates on my case, making sure my case remained active and visible. This is super important because I actually got a bit lazy, or not lazy, but been working at the cafe and I was just thinking, you know, they're gonna bring back my second Instagram account. No, they didn't. They just closed the ticket and now it's so hard to get in contact with them. So that's super important. You just gotta keep pestering them. Eventually my account was reinstated. The reality of losing access multiple times, I'm honest, I'm a little hesitant to rely on Instagram. So that is what I posted on LinkedIn. So it was 22 days in total, and I honestly don't think there was any magic thing that I did. I think you have to be patient in these situations, and you have to hope that, you know, someone and it's going to get put onto a human's eyes. I've had people messaging me saying, I lost my account a year ago, 100,000 followers, how did you get it back? I honestly feel like it's just so hard, and it's really woken me up to the reality of social media influencing that this Instagram is rented property, and that I shouldn't solely rely on that for my income. That is why I have started Blog Baddies, which I absolutely love. So if you guys are interested, make sure you comment group below and I'll send you guys a link. I am actually really prioritizing that group. I'm wanting to build my community there, and I'm gonna make a landing page now when I go home, start my website for my social media coaching. So, you know, having different revenues of income, it's just, yeah, I just even have influencer friends who have like smaller following and they're even nervous to lose their account. I'm like, you should be nervous because you don't know who's watching you, who's hating on you, who wants to take you down. But I think what I was most proud of out of this whole journey was I still showed up and I still made my videos and I still showed up on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. I started to post on LinkedIn every day because I was like, well, I'm not posting on Instagram, so I've got to find a new place. You know, and I think it showed me how important it is to have your brand in so many different platforms. That's super important. I really want to start Kick, like live streaming. I've seen a lot of UK influencers do that. So to summarize that, I think always have like two-factor authentication, have your passwords encrypted, so that like takes all the hacking away. I already had that all sorted. Before I went to South America, I was like, I know I'm gonna be in dodgy places, I'm gonna be logged into dodgy Wi-Fi. I know that it's happened when I was in Greece last year. There was someone in south of France trying to access my account, and I was not in the UK, so I couldn't verify with my phone number. And that's when I started to be like, okay, I need to have roaming on. Like, you know, when your SIM works whenever you are in the world. So I actually had my Australian SIM on when I was in South America, and people are, oh, that's so expensive, why don't you get an eSIM? It's like, because I have bank accounts linked to that number. I have now my social accounts, which is a huge part of my income. So for me, it's worth the cost. So I think when you get to a certain level, you start to put money into it because it does become, you know, your income. But in all, I think the learning and the takeaway from this was to not solely rely the income on Instagram and to build my own online business, which I'm doing. But I just wanted to give you guys sort of like a rundown on everything I did. I did not sleep. I barely ate. I cried so much that 22 days. It was horrific. And I am so grateful for the amount of people that reached out to me that I had met when I was traveling. Friends from New Zealand that I haven't spoken to in a couple of years, you know, almost like silent watchers. People have been watching my whole journey overseas. And then when they saw it was taken, they knew how much hard work I'd put into it. They were messaging. Josiel, my boyfriend, we can't even speak the same language, but he would just sit there on FaceTime and I would just cry and he would just go, calm, it's all gonna work out. So yeah, I think it showed me how rich I am in life, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, that's how I got my Instagram account back. I hope this helps someone or it calms your nerves. If you're currently, in this situation, all I say is, know it's so hard, is be patient and be calm. I was neither of those, but in the end I had to be, because I was like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, you know. Not sleeping and sitting on my floor and crying is not gonna bring my account back. But obviously I was going through a lot. But you know, I think the best thing to do is put your purpose somewhere else and put your focus somewhere else and let it sort itself out, and it will come back. But I hope this helps some people. Also, always have a Facebook page connected with your Instagram account. It's super important to get in contact with Meta. But yeah, I haven't even drunk my decaf coffee because I'm like this, yapping. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Wanna be just like you.